Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Miss Crochet and Coffee here, and today we are doing a whip and chat. So get out those whips, whatever they may be, and let's have a little chit chat. I'm going to talk about my weekend. I'm going to talk about other things because that's what we do. So yeah. All right. First things first. Hopefully you guys had a great weekend. It seemed like some of the creators had a good weekend doing the DP-a-thon. Congrats to all those who did it and who raised money for worthy causes. I commend you. I do apologize that I was not able to join in the fun. Weekends in my house are for family. So on the weekends in my house, we try to do something together. It's usually the only day that Mr. Coffee has off work. Like, we know he's going to have off work, and we decided that since this weekend he was going to have off, there is a trampoline park that opened up literally 2 minutes down the street from our house. And so we decided to take the kids to the trampoline park. Now, I tried to pop into as many lives as I could, because I wanted to show you guys some support, but I knew I couldn't, even though I couldn't join, I wanted to at least show you guys some support. I know that might have ruffled a few feathers because I wasn't able to participate, but I'm sorry, my family comes first. So I was able to pop into a few lives, and I do apologize that I was so in and out, but again, it's family day, and my husband was already upset with me that when I did pop in, I was, supposed to be doing stuff with the family. I did, it's a good weekend when you suffer a concussion. All right, so let me explain. So Friday afternoon, I was getting ready to do my normal afternoon routine, which is to take the dogs out and to bring them back, grab my stuff, and then go wait on the kids to get out of school. Because usually the dogs go out for about 20 minutes so they can run and play and chase birds and all that fun doggy stuff that they like to do. And then I go pick up the kids. And Mr. Coffee was working, so I was like, all right. When he's not working, he usually will go pick up the kids, because I hate picking up the kids, you guys. There's no parking, and then you got to fight for parking spots closer to the school, so you don't have to walk half a mile just to get to the school to go get them, and then walk half a mile back. So usually he would go get them if he has off work, but because he worked, I had to go get them. And there's always something. So I went to take the dogs to the dog park. And as you guys know, or if you're new to my channel, hi. I have two dogs, which are Daisy, my German Shepherd. She's a purebred German Shepherd. And then I have a purebred Siberian Husky named Killian Jones. You probably see him a lot. He's the little black and white dog you see. Well, he's not little, but he's the black and white dog you'll see on my channel. And you see him quite often on here, so. Apparently I just, oh, that's where I pulled it up from. Nope. Pulled up a diamond from somewhere. Oh, well. Either way. So, as I'm at the dog park, we're getting ready to leave, and I call the dogs over, and Killian must have got wind of a bunny or something, because he went to the far corner of the dog park, which was right behind where I was standing, and I couldn't see him behind me. And then Daisy runs over to where he was at, and I was going to grab their tennis ball, because I take a tennis ball out with me so I can throw it and they can play catch, and again, do fun doggy things. So I'm sitting there, and Daisy sees a car. Now, Daisy has this obsession with cars. I don't know what it is or why she does it. But when we're outside, especially when she's in the dog park, Daisy likes to run the length of the dog park. Daisy likes to run the length of the dog park and chase and bark at cars. It's not hurting anybody, so I don't really care. Because then I have had a car stop and ask to pet her, and then she'll sit there and let them pet her, and I'm like, seriously, then why'd you bark at it? Dogs are weird. Either way. So as she's barking at this car, or as she goes to run to go bark at this car, I knew she was behind me, but I didn't realize that she was coming up behind me the way she was, and she ended up swiping my leg. So with me standing with my back to her, she swiped the back of my legs, and I went feet over head down to the ground, and I hit my head pretty hard. I luckily didn't. My first concern was, of course, I'm in a dog park. Did I fall and poop? I look around, I take my jacket off, I look at it, there's no poop. Good, because it's a dog park, and we all know not everybody is courteous enough to clean up after their pets, especially since winter is gone and the snow has melted. So it's, oh my God, there's so much poop everywhere. And the people that run that particular dog park don't necessarily clean up. Like, they haven't cleaned up the dog park yet. They just cleaned it up today, today is April 1st. So happy April Fool's Day, I guess. But they just cleaned it up today, or they must have cleaned it up yesterday, actually, because when I went out this morning, it was cleaned up. So if you haven't guessed, today is April 1st. You won't be seeing this until April 2nd. But yeah, so I'm sitting there, and I checked to make sure I didn't fall and poop, because that's gross. And then I'm like checking to make sure my head isn't bleeding, because at this point I have like the biggest migraine of my life. And so when I came home, I took an 800 milligram Motrin, because I suffer from chronic migraines. So I have 800 milligram ibuprofen that I have to take for whenever I get one. It works sometimes, but it's something to make me think that it's working, so I can pretend like my head doesn't hurt, I guess. So I go to pick up the kids, and I end up getting really tired. And I'm like, why am I so tired? I end up dozing off in the car. I wake up, and I see parents walking in front of my car with their kids, and I'm sitting there like, oh crap, the kids are out. Look at the clock, it's 10 after 3. My kids usually are out of the building by 3. So I go, and the teachers all stand outside with the kids until their parents come and pick them up, and all the kids are gone. And then they have like crossing guards and stuff like that. So like they were safe. But they're just kind of looking at me like, Mommy, why are you so late? We seen you parked over there. And I'm like, I am so sorry. You know, Mommy hit her head, so Mommy's a little tired. And the first thing I thought, because you guys, if you don't know, Papa, my dad, is an old-timey doctor. So like he's been in the medical field my entire life. And so the first thing I thought was, I think I have a concussion. Are you allowed to sleep on concussions? I don't think you're supposed to sleep on concussions, but I'm really tired. So I got home, and Maggie said she was tired, and I was like, oh, sweet. But she's like, I want to eat my popsicle first. Now, again, it's Friday, so it's snack and movie day at their school. So she came home with the biggest popsicle I have ever seen. This thing literally was the size of her. And if I remember correctly, I will put a picture in to show you guys this ginormous popsicle. But I'm like, okay. And I'm sitting here on the couch, and I'm dozing off, and I'm like, nope, stay awake, do something, diamond paint, do something. Oh my gosh. At that point, I had just finished The Mermaid from Star Wars, which didn't that turn out fabulous? Oh my gosh. So I was like, okay, I'm going to pull out the custom, work on it, because I want to get it done. I'm like at the halfway point now. So this is like halfway, sort of, a little over halfway. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to get this custom started working on again. Because when I finished Keiriko Siren, I didn't want to work on yet another bigger canvas. I wanted to work on something small that I can get done quick. So that's why I worked on my mermaid. Because everybody was like, what, do you not like your custom? And I'm like, no, I do. It just... You know, I just finished this ginormous painting. I need to take a break from the bigger paintings. I want to work on something small. So I worked on the Star Wars Mermaid. And I have to say, I will be ordering from her again, because that was just fantastic. Again, minus that hand. That hand was nightmare fuel. So yeah. So I'm sitting here, and I'm trying not to fall asleep. And I'm trying to stay awake. And Maggie's slowly eating her popsicle. And she's falling asleep eating the popsicle. Orion's in his room, and he's like, Mom, can I read, one of my chapter books? Because I'm getting new books on Monday, so I want to make sure I read all my chapter books. so that I don't have any. I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. I'm not paying attention to him at this point because I just want to go to sleep. I'm like, are you going to be upset if mommy takes a little nap? And he goes, no, that's okay. You take a nap. When I'm done with my book, I'll probably play my game. So I was like, all right, cool. Mr. Coffee wasn't due in for another few hours. So I was like, whatever. And I was making something really simple for dinner. So, sitting there and I'm trying not to fall asleep. Maggie at this point has face planted, fell asleep on the table. So I ran over and grabbed her. Well, she didn't full-fledged face plant. She just slowly melted down until she essentially was laying on the popsicle. So I went and put her popsicle away, and I grabbed her and brought her over to the couch and was laying here cuddling with her, and we took a little nap. Now, maybe 30 minutes later, I pop up because I feel her shifting in my arm, and I didn't want to drop her on the floor or anything. So I was like, no, you're not supposed to sleep. You're not supposed to sleep with the concussion. So I was like, maybe I should just call Pawpaw. And I was like, no, because he's probably busy. And I remember my dad had a birthday party to go to. One of my mom's friends was turning 100 years old. So they had a birthday party to go to. And from the sounds of it, it was a little lit. Ambulances were called, people. These old people trying to party like it's 1999. Y'all sit down like it's 2019 now. Anyways, so yeah, so that was Friday. And then Saturday comes. I did my live. And right before I went live, so yeah, let's back to Friday. Right before I did my live, Jennifer Roberts, you guys know Jennifer Roberts, DP Addiction Adventures with Jennifer Roberts. I probably just butchered that, but you know who Jennifer Roberts is. If you don't, are you under a rock, people? Did I finish that symbol? And I'm trying to block the sun because no matter how I put my blinds, the sun is right there. And I just got the notification that Spasmodic Arts just put up another Sims video, so I'm about to go cop that after this because this isn't going to be a super long whipping chat, but I just want to tell you guys about my weekend because everybody was worried and wondering what happened to my head. Same old crazy Miss Coffee. So yeah. So you guys know Jennifer Roberts is kind of like the little appetizer to my lives on Fridays. And for those of you wondering, no, I will not end my lives on Fridays. There were at least 8 or 9 people that did the Whip and Chat challenge. So to those people who did complete the challenge, I do greatly appreciate it. It was nice to see the Whip and Chats, and you best believe I watched every single freaking one of them. So thank you guys again so much. I really appreciate it. So then we're in, and I will usually what I do is I will put up, okay, I'm going to just say it right now. It's really nice to have this DMC chart at the bottom of this canvas so I don't have to keep lifting it up. So thank you, DAC, for that. You guys know you're awesome. But I'm in her live, and when I put her live on, I'm usually getting myself ready on my side. So I'm getting the kids ready for bed, getting the dogs and Mr. Coffee out of the house, getting the dogs fresh food and water, getting my camera equipment set up, going to the bathroom, making fresh coffee, all that fun jazz that I have to do before I go live. And I was vacuuming the floor because when I got home with the kids, or that day, I didn't vacuum because I was making videos for this week. And I didn't vacuum, and sometimes I'll wait until after the kids get home and then vacuum. So I didn't vacuum, so I was like, I'm going to vacuum real quick. So I'm vacuuming the floor, and she was telling some story, and I was like, I'll probably watch it on the replay or something because I'm not going to catch all of it with the vacuum. It's too loud. I'm not going to have her yelling in my house because she ain't paying no bills up in here. She up here yelling in my house. I ain't turning the volume up. So I'm vacuuming. I vacuum the floor. And I go to put the cord away. And she starts telling, if you guys didn't see her live before mine this past Friday, go check it out. She's telling some pretty funny stories in there. She's told a story about when she was pregnant with her daughter and about a potato. That's all I'm going to tell you. If you want to hear the full story in all of its glory, you have to go watch her live before mine. And don't worry, it's only like an hour or so long because she usually only goes on for about an hour 15 minutes before my live because she doesn't have a lot of time to be sitting there doing lives for like 17 hours. So her live is short. before mine. So it's nice because then it's like a short whip and chat. And yes, to me, a short whip and chat's about an hour. So I'm sitting there and I'm rolling up the cord to the vacuum. And all I hear is, and I take this potato and I fling it and it grazed the back of the dog. At the point where she said it grazed the back of the dog, I'm rolling the cord up and I start laughing and I lose my balance because take it, I'm still a little off from earlier. I lose my balance and then I bust my forehead on the wall. And I'm like, oh my God. Like it hit hard enough that I heard my neck snap. And I was like, oh God, I'm paralyzed. I'm gonna die. My neck just snapped. What just happened to me? All this because she's telling a story about a potato. And she's talking about how, and the funny thing is, she's telling this story. I'm still laughing even though I've done cracked my head on the wall. I am now sporting a pretty nice unicorn bruise in the dead center of my forehead because it's the wall that meets with the kitchen and the laundry room. And so I have this pretty nice bruise, dead center of my forehead. I'm going to now call it my unicorn bruise. And I'm still laughing because she's still telling the story because, of course, she doesn't know that I just busted up my whole face on this wall. Yeah, because it wasn't just my forehead that I hit. I smashed my whole face into the wall. So when I get up and finally put the vacuum away, I comment in her live and tell her, and you'll hear it because she'll say something about it in her live. I commented in her live and I was like, I just busted my whole forehead on the wall listening to you tell this story about the potato. So then Mr. Coffee comes back and he goes, hey, what's up with your head? And I'm like, I just hit my head on the wall. He goes, are you going to be okay to go live? And I'm like, I'm not canceling it now. So I might have been a little concussed during my live. I make no apologies. I blame Jennifer Roberts. But yeah, so I'm sitting there and I do my live and I'm like, cool. So tomorrow I'll pop into a few lives when I can because I knew I wouldn't be able to make all of them. That's just too much for me. I'm sorry. That's too much. But I knew I could pop into a few of them. So I, popped into as many as I could while trying not to anger my husband, which I still did. So I had to be super nice to him this week. Don't worry. We'll make it the week of potatoes for him. He'll eat like mashed potatoes all week and he'll get over it. So it's now Saturday. I wake up, my head's still a little groggy. And I'm like, you know what? It is what it is. Whatever. And I don't know if anybody else does this, but when I'm in pain, the first thing that goes through my head is, what are you complaining about? You had 3 children naturally with no medication, no intervention, no nothing. And you're going to complain about your head hurting? Shut up and sit down. No pity party train for you. You shut up and sit down. Coffee break. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, I got to figure out who's going live when. And Diamond Art Club had asked me to do a couple of donations to a couple of the people. One, I didn't realize that everybody was doing donations. I was only told that the people that were able to do super chats were doing donations. So I'm just sitting there chilling like, oh, okay, DAC asked me to give, these 4 people donations for their charities because those were the only people I knew that were donating to charity. I didn't realize everybody was donating to charity. And so I'm sitting there and I think the first live I caught the tail end of was the Ginger Sisters. And then Rachel Ray went on. So I'm in Rachel's live and I do give, her donation a clause. And everybody's asking me about my head and everything. At this point, I'm at the trampoline park. So I'm trying to pay attention to my kids and kind of listen because it was loud in the trampoline park. So I had headphones in trying to listen, but I could barely hear anything. So I'm sitting there and I hear kids screaming, which is a trampoline park, so why wouldn't you hear kids screaming? But this scream sounded way too familiar. So mama mode essentially went into play. And I was like, who messing with my babies? Because we don't mess with Miss Coffee's babies. So I hear this little boy yelling at my son, telling him he can't play dodgeball. Now in this trampoline park, they have little games that they play. One is dodgeball. And essentially you're on trampolines and you're essentially trying to dodge a ball. So you're jumping extra high and you're trying to duck and dodge and dip and dive and dodge. So I hear this little boy screaming that Orion can't play. And then I see the little boy push Orion down. Now, before I could get up and Mr. Coffee could get up, I just see Maggie out of nowhere, because she was playing like maybe 3 feet, maybe 4 feet away from them. I see her out of nowhere, see this little boy push Orion. Now take it, Orion's not like a little, he's not gonna let anybody push him around. Orion is a yellow belt in judo, which is like the 2nd tier, but he still knows his moves pretty well. So Orion didn't even get a chance to react before all I see is my daughter haul off and punch this little boy in the face. Me and Mr. Coffee look at each other. We jump up. Now, Maggie has no formal fight training. Maggie is just fight or flight type girl. So she has no fight training. The fact that she even knew how to throw a punch, 1, I was proud. 2, I do not condone violence, and I do not condone my children using violence unless violence is used against them and there's no one around for them to tell. Now, we did fuss at Maggie for hitting somebody because, you don't hit people. No matter how cool it is, no matter how funny it was, we did, let her know you don't hit people. That's not nice. And all she could say is, well, nobody pushes my brother. Maggie was just standing up for her brother, which I can completely understand. But at least give your brother some time to react. Like, geez, she like hauled up, and this little boy is about Orion's size. So he's about 8 or 9 years old. From what I gathered, it was his birthday party that they were there for. And Orion didn't realize that, he was playing with a few of the kids, and they were talking about playing dodgeball, and he just wanted to join in. And the boy's mom told him that he could, because I even remember going over and asking her, is it okay if he, plays with them? Because I figured it was a birthday party. And she goes, yeah, the more the merrier. All right, cool. So she's letting Orion play, and the little boy gets upset because he doesn't want Orion playing, because now his friends are paying more attention to Orion than they are to him. Yeah, he's one of those kids. So as I'm in live, which I believe I was in Jennifer Roberts live at this point. I think Jennifer Roberts went before Rachel. I don't remember how the schedule went. Again, I was concussed, people. I was in Jennifer Roberts live because we were then leaving to go to get some lunch and then go to the doctor. So I'm in the live. And I was like, hold on, Maggie just punched someone in the face. And that's all I could say. And so I jump up, I go fuss at Maggie. I check to see if the little boy is okay. The little boy's mom is irate because, my child just, punched him in the face. And again, where I condone Maggie for standing up for her brother, I do not condone violence. 1, I took kickboxing for 3 years. So I'm all about women, standing up for themselves, or for those who can't stand up for themselves. And I've never used violence on anyone unless necessary. So unless you come at me, I'm not going to just sit there and just start kickboxing you. So every once in a while we were playing, I would show the kids how to throw a punch or something. Just, playing around. Mostly with Orion. Maggie would just watch and she, would mimic what we were doing. Again, I never knew Maggie knew how to throw a punch. And it was a perfect elbow up punch. Like she had been practicing in a mirror for hours the day before, just waiting for this moment. So in a way I was kind of proud, but in a way I was kind of embarrassed because, this little boy just had his butt handed to him by a 6-year-old little girl. And so I go over to the mom and I check to make sure the little boy's okay. And his pride was hurt more than his face. But of course, he's dying and he's in there throwing a fit. And I'm like, you doing the most right now, ain't you? I'm like, I don't think it hurt that bad. She's only 6. My nose is broken. My nose is broken. I'm like, if my 6-year-old broke your nose, you should probably drink more milk. I'm just saying, it does a body good. So I'm popping back and forth into the live because at this point, I didn't want to leave you guys thinking that, well, what's going on? Who punched who? Did somebody punch one of your kids? Blah, blah, blah. So I came back long enough to let you guys know that, hey, Maggie punched some little boy in the face. And then I think that's when Rachel's live started. And then at that point, the mom was, doing the most herself. And she's sitting there threatening us because, that's assault. I'm like, you're going to call the cops on a 6-year-old? Are you going to also let the cops know that your son pushed my son? I didn't see that. Convenient. I'm like, I did. I'm like, I just didn't get a chance to react before my daughter did. Maggie apparently has cat-like reflexes. So, yeah. So then we leave there because I started yelling, and Mr. Coffee knows how I am. So he, have you ever been drugged out of a trampoline park? You can't be gangster when you don't have shoes on and you're being drugged out of a trampoline park. Let me just say that. So he's dragging me. The kids are following him. Orion's okay. He thanked Maggie and gave her a hug and told her thank you. And I was like, we're in the car on our way to Dave's again. We went back to Dave's, famous Dave's barbecue. And I'm telling them, we don't condone violence. We don't condone you guys doing that. And he goes, but Mommy, that little boy pushed me and I didn't do anything. I just wanted to play with him and his friends. And I'm like, I know, but you can't, Maggie just can't go haul off and hit someone because of that. She's like, well, if she hadn't, I would have. I'm like, well, you would have been justified in doing it where she isn't. She was just standing up for you, which is justified in a way, but it's not. He goes, Mommy, that's confusing. I'm like, I just confused myself, kid, okay? Let's just try not to hit anybody else today, okay? And he was like, okay. And Maggie said, fine. She's like, I don't like people touching my brother. I know, honey, I know. And again, I do love the fact that she's willing to stand up for her brother. And I don't condone the violence, but Mama was a little proud. I ain't gonna lie. Mama was a little proud. So we get to the place, and we're all listening because at this point it's like lunchtime that got put on the wrong symbol. It's lunchtime at Dave's, so we're like one of the few tables in there because it's more of a dinner place than a lunch place, but they're open for lunch. Coffee break. I know, a lot of coffee breaks. So Jennifer Roberts was saying about the potato story, and she asked how my head was doing, and I'm like, it's fine. It's at that point my head finally stopped spinning, so I was feeling a little bit better. And I think she said something about the potato story, and I was like, tell it again because Mr. Coffee wants to hear it. And the waitress was like, what's the potato story? And I was like, oh, she about to tell it again. We got to tell her to tell it again. So Jennifer Roberts is going into this story again. And she's starting to tell a story about the potato. And Mr. Coffee's like, is this the story where you hit your head? And I was like, yes. So she tells the story again. And me, the kids, Mr. Coffee, and the server are all sitting there just dying laughing. And the first time she told the story, she was saying about how the dog was scared and is still scared of potatoes. Well, I don't know if the dog is still scared. I'm not sure if I don't think it's Zoe, which is her dog now. But she said the dog was forever scared of potatoes. And I'm like, dying laughing. And Mr. Coffee's laughing and the waitress is laughing. And she's like, well, here's your baked potato. She's like, just please promise not to throw it. I'm like, I'm not pregnant and I'm not throwing potatoes. So, yeah. So that's how I hit my head. And that's what happened at the trampoline park. Now, the rest of the evening was pretty much me going to the doctor, him saying, yes, you have a concussion, you need to rest, you need to lay down. And I was like, yeah, that's happening. I didn't lay down. Not because I didn't want to, because I literally have one job. My job is to keep the kids alive and feed everybody in my house. I'm a stay-at-home mom. That's what I do. And I understand, well, you're hurt, you should take a break. But I don't like taking a break. It makes me feel lazy. I don't know. It just does. So I did relax a little bit and let Mr. Coffee take the reins. But I wasn't about to sit there and lay there all day. Like that's not gangsta. No. So I put on my comfy pants and I decided to sit down and watch some TV with Mr. Coffee, and I popped into a few more lives, and so that was Saturday. Well, Saturday evening, we're sitting here and Mr. Coffee's phone goes off and he goes, oh my God, it's my coworker. I'm not going to say said coworker's name because I won't give him the satisfaction. But said coworker is a known alcoholic and is known for getting himself into situations that he then needs my husband to rescue him from. Like that night where he called, and this is at 10 o'clock at night. Somehow this coworker went somewhere. I don't know if he was drunk when he went or what, but he went to Minot. Now, for those folks, who don't live in North Dakota, Minot from where I live, is a 2-hour drive. That's where Mr. Coffee, I always talk about Mr. Coffee going to get tacos. That's where he goes to get tacos. It's a 2-hour drive. His coworker calls drunk from the emergency room in Minot, asking could he come pick him up because he was trying something new and got hurt and ended up having to go to the emergency room, and now he needs a ride home. Said coworker is not married. He does have a couple baby mamas. And I'm like, well, why can't one of them go pick him up? Why do you have to pick him up? Now take it. If it's 2 hours one way, that means it's 4 hours round trip. That's not including finding said hospital, because Mr. Coffee doesn't know where the hospital is in Minot. That's not including finding said hospital, then getting in there to find him, then getting him out of there, driving his drunk tail home, taking him home, and then coming back. Mr. Coffee would have gotten back here probably around 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. It was 10 o'clock at night. My biggest complaint with Mr. Coffee is that he hasn't been home, which is one of the reasons why it was such a big deal that I spent time with him, because this was one of the first weekends that he's been home. So I'm sitting there and I'm looking at him, and he always tells the coworker yes, no matter what it is. Yeah, I'll help you out. Yeah, I'll come get you. Yeah, this, yeah, that. I'm like, will you for once make me first? Do not go get him. He goes, well, I already told him I would. I don't give a flying crap. Don't go. I don't want you to go. Please don't go. He says fine. He won't go. He texts the coworker and lets him know, I'm not coming. The coworker then, like a big baby, calls Jordan's boss, or Mr. Coffee's boss, and tells him that he needs a ride home because he's drunk at the emergency room in Minot. To which Jordan, or Mr. Coffee's boss, then calls Mr. Coffee. Mr. Coffee's sitting there like, yeah, that's not happening. I'm not about that life. So we spent the rest of the evening watching his friend, Hey It's Raw on Twitch, play Emily Wants to Play. So, yeah. Now, let me explain this game to you, for those of you who don't play video games. Emily Wants to Play is a scary game. Essentially, you're in a house. You're a pizza delivery guy, and this is your last call of the evening, and it's to a house, but the house looks vacant, but there's lights on. So you go up to the house, knock on the door opens, and it looks like somebody's either moving in or moving out. There's chairs knocked over, there's, furniture missing, but, you walk in and let somebody know, hey, your pizza's here. Well, then the door closes behind you. So the object of this game is to survive in this house with Emily and her toys. Emily is a little girl, and her toys have come to life. There is a clown. Yeah, I said it. There's the clown is called, I want to say it's Mr. Cheddars. And then there's a ventriloquist looking dummy named Mr. Jeters or Mr. something. And then there's a little black and white doll named Kiki. And each doll does their own thing. So when Mr. Cheddars laughs, you have to stop moving. You have to stand completely still. If you don't, he comes up and gets you. And the sad part is, in the game, it's not like, you know, they kill you in the game. Well, you die, but not like somebody stabs you or anything like that. Essentially, the characters pop up out of nowhere. So like right now, you're sitting here watching me diamond paint, and then they would just flash up on the screen out of nowhere and scream in your face. It is scary as all get out, but like the funnest game to watch, because his friend Raw, I call him Raw because I don't know his real name. I just know his gamer name because he plays with my husband all the time. But Raw, the look on his face while he's playing it and when he gets scared by the toys is hilarious. And not a whole lot of Twitch streamers are playing said game because the game is a little bit older, but there's a sequel to it. So it's starting to kind of make a little bit of a comeback. But he was playing the first one, and I told Mr. Coffee, I'm like, dude, you have to get this game. You just have to. Please get this game. I need you to play this game. Now, you guys know I don't like clowns, but this game was freaking so fun to play. So essentially, okay, so you have Mr. Cheddars, who when he laughs, he's just a little fat clown. When he laughs, he holds his hands up, and you're supposed to stop. Essentially, you're playing a game. You're playing like hide and go seek and flash tag or something. So you're supposed to stop whenever the clown starts laughing. And you won't necessarily see the clown. You'll just hear him. And then Mr. Jetters or whatever, the ventriloquist dummy, when you see him in a room, he will run at you. Like he's coming after you. You have to leave out of the room that he's in. Like you have to pass through a doorway to keep him from getting you. Which, you know, it might sound easy, but when you have Mr. Cheddars laughing and you have to stop or he comes after you, and then you have Mr. Jetters who is chasing you, you have to essentially make life decisions at that point. And then you have, last but not least, you have Kiki. Kiki is the scary China doll. And her face is all white with black around her eyes. She has short black hair. She's wearing a long black dress. Her hands are white. Just to give you an idea of what she looks like. Kiki is essentially playing hide and go seek with you. When you see Kiki, you can't take your eyes off of her, because the moment you do, she gets closer to you. And if she gets close enough to scare you, boom, you lose the game. So essentially, you're just trying to keep these characters from scaring you. It is literally the funnest thing. So we spent most of the weekend playing said game, which is why one of the reasons why when I was in lives, I was very quiet, because I was playing the game with Mr. Coffee. Orion overhears us playing the game, and he goes, hey, I know that game. That's Emily Wants to Play. Orion apparently watches this on Twitch while he's watching other streamers, because one of Mr. Coffee's friends also streams on Twitch. And his name is Identity Crisis on Twitch. And so Orion knows some of the games on there because he'll watch Disguised Toast. And so Orion apparently has come across this game on Twitch, and he absolutely loves the game. He's trying to tell Jordan's friend who is streaming how to survive in the house, because you have to survive until I want to say 6 a.m. And it's like different stages. Each hour lasts 6 minutes in real time. And so each hour something new happens. And when you get to hour 5, you have to play. And like I said, they're playing a game. So you have to find Emily in the house while avoiding finding Mr. Cheddars and Emily and Kiki, and then listening out for the clown, Mr. Cheddars. You have to do all of that while trying to find this little girl in the house, and you have 90 seconds. And it's a big house. It's a one-story house, but it's a big house. So you have to find the little girl as many times as you can in 90 seconds. Once you find her, the timer resets. You find her 3 times, you win. The guy played the game for like 3 hours, and then the game crashed on him, so he couldn't finish streaming. So then Mr. Coffee got on and was playing it, and we ended up watching that and playing with that all night, which then went into Sunday. Sunday is my cleaning day. So Sunday is the day where while I'm in the house, I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm getting the kids ready for school on Monday and everything else, which is what I was doing yesterday. I was lifing so hard. I again washed the kids' bed sheets and replaced them with the fresh ones I had just washed the other day. Because if you remember in one of my other videos, I said about I might have said it in my live actually. We got a paper sent home saying that there was a case reported to the school of someone having head lice. So of course, my inner coffee senses got tingling, and I bleached the entire house. Well, I cleaned the house again Sunday, and I just spot cleaned it. And I still had to mop all the floors and vacuum and dust because, allergy season is among us. So, we went to the store to buy tissues and hand sanitizer. And because for those of you who don't know, apparently I'm a huge germaphobe. So every spring I always buy a big thing of hand sanitizer and tissues to last us for spring until summer. Now, take it again, there's like 6 trees here, so it's not like, I'm having to really prep too hard for this because there's like no trees here. We're going to go for letter H. Where's letter H? There it is. So yeah, so what are we at? We got about 20 more minutes. So I'm cleaning and I'm trying to attend more lives because I think I woke up and Laura was live. Laura Law's Craft Corner. And I'm sitting there like, okay, I'm going to try to attend as many lives as I can on top of doing everything else. And Mr. Coffee is sitting there. He's scowling at me at this point. If looks could kill, I would be half dead. And I'm like, well, what's wrong? And he goes, we were supposed to be spending a family weekend together, and you've been on your laptop, and it, really bothers me that we can't spend one weekend together. And I'm like, yeah, but, I have to show support because these people support my channel, and I already couldn't do the DP-a-thon because of the fact that we're having a family weekend. Not that I don't want the family weekend, but, I have to make time for my subscribers as well as you guys, and I'm still trying to learn how to balance this, so I apologize to them. And a few of the lives I popped in just to say hi, and then, I would turn the computer volume off. But I would sit in there and, we watched a movie, and we actually watched a couple of movies. We played with the kids. Maggie showed us how to make Play-Doh slime, which is, it's like the slime, but it's Play-Doh, so you can like mold it. And so we did that, and we all helped cook dinner, and we made brownies, and we sat and had a nice dinner. And while we were having dinner, I want to say that's when my crazy craft addiction went on. And I feel really bad because she messaged me and asked me to be a moderator in her chat. And I was like, dude, I just got this message like right in chat. And then I noticed she had Jin and Rachel as her moderators. So I'm like, oh, she's cool. She's cool. So I did get to pop into a few more chats before the DP-a-thon was over. And I got fussed at for, joining in. But again, Mr. Coffee does understand that I have to show support to those people, even though I couldn't do it myself. I needed to still be there to support my peeps. Because you guys, like I said, like I was telling my crazy craft addiction this, it's like you guys are like family to me. You hear all my stories, all my ups and downs. It's been 6 months and you're still here. So if you're still here, you're family. The only way I could, make this any more like family is if I was to feed you. So, which that's a Southern thing. So I'm like, you guys are like that crazy extended family you see on the holidays. And then after that, you're like, you ain't got to go, but you can't stay here type deal. That's what you guys are to me. So I was like, I have to show support. These people, help me with my channel. Without them, I don't have a channel. So he understood, but he's like, next weekend, if I have off, no electronics. And I was like, all right, you got it. No electronics. And because I don't post on the weekend, I don't have to worry about a whole lot of comments coming in on my videos, which sometimes they do. But usually, because it's a live on Friday, everybody just kind of watches the live and zones into that. So I don't get many comments. I did get one comment that I was like chuckling at, though. My who is that? My diamond painting addiction with Valerie. She commented, she goes, hold up. My Echo can start my car. And I'm like, yeah. Notice I didn't say the A word because, you know, mine's is over there on the wall and I'm not trying to set her off because she'd be all up in my business. We also sat here like a bunch of zombies for like, I'm not even joking, you guys. There's so much that this thing can do. We were playing rock, paper, scissors with the Echo. The kids played Simon Says with the Echo. Maggie got a bedtime story read to her by the Echo. And then she made me read another bedtime story, which is fine because, you know, I like reading to her at night. Or sometimes Orion will go in and they'll read to each other before they go to bed, which is really nice because it helps him with his reading skills. Not that he needs it, but it helps him with his reading skills and it helps her learn how to read a little bit better because Maggie is in the process of learning how to read. So she can read some words when she wants to. So every once in a while she'll say like, you know, I want daddy to read to me or I want Orion or mommy to read to me. So she picked Orion and Orion was fine with that because she just got all the new llama books in. So she's been all about llamas for like the last 2 weeks. And then when, for those of you who didn't see it, Kelly Head, one of my subscribers, she is a seamstress, master of the seams. She made a couple of bags for us. She even sent me some LuLaRoe pants, which I have on right now. Like, I'm not even joking. Hold on. Okay, it's going to be weird. It's going to be weird. But I have on some LuLaRoe pants. And I got them from Kelly Head. So thank you again, Kelly Head, because you were awesome. Because I think I mentioned it in my chat. Not this past weekend, but the weekend before. So she sent me some tote bags, and they're matching tote bags. They match my tool wrap, and so one tote bag was for me and one tote bag was for Maggie, and she was tickled pink. And Maggie was like, is this for me? And Ron's like, hey, where's my tote bag? And I was like, you're a boy, you don't wear a tote bag. He goes, but I like to have a bag to put all my cool gamer stuff in. So I was like, well, mommy will buy you one. So we'll have to find him something with Fortnite or Mario or something like that on it, because now he's all jealous that everybody else got tote bags and he didn't get a tote bag. And Mr. Coffee comes home and there's just, I have like my chair over here is where I put all my packages and stuff that need to be unboxed and everything else. And I usually would write notes on them, like, you know, if it comes in from a company wanting for me to review something, if it comes from something I purchased, if it comes from wherever. And he's like, I thought you were going to empty out the package chair today because I recorded so many videos. And I was like, I did, but I got more packages in. And then he was walking in with a package. So I was like, are you freaking kidding me right now? So the package chair is full again. So you guys are going to see a lot of, you know, unboxings of random such and things this week or next week. Because, again, I don't post on the weekends. But let me get your guys' advice on something, because we got another 10 minutes. Let me get you guys' advice on something. If I go live on Friday, would you guys like to see, like, a small video on Friday morning? Like, because I don't want to bombard you guys with a bunch of videos. So that's one of the reasons why I don't do more than one video in a day, because that would just be too much. I'm already extra. That would be extra, and we're not about to read all about it, okay? So would it bother you guys to have more than one video in a day? Because on the days that I do lives, I tend to not post a video because I figure a 3 to 4 hour video is long enough. I don't need to, you know, add an extra thing in. And I did get a comment from the lady Anna again, to which she apologized because she said, you know, she meant no harm and there was no sarcasm. She just likes being able to watch an entire video in 10 minutes. And I'm like, well, the way you came across with it, like, you know, asking for other people to show you people that, you know, make videos less than 10 minutes because, you know, you don't have time. You know, no. I'm like, I don't even have time to sit and watch an entire 4 hour whip and chat or, you know, whatever. So I get that you don't have time, but you coming on my channel is essentially like if you worked at a grocery store and you were my cashier, and I went, is there any other cashiers here that are better and more efficient than this one? I'm like, how would you feel? So I'm hoping I got the point across to her, because, you know, you don't come on somebody's channel and then try to tell them how to run their channel. Like, if somebody decides that they want to do a new craft, you don't go on their channel. Well, that's a stupid craft. I think you need to stick to that. I think you need to suck a fat one, buddy. So, like, yeah, like, I was a little, you know, it chapped my ass a little bit that she would come on my channel and be like, you know, asking people, does anybody know of anybody else that, you know, doesn't take, you know, 30 minutes to do an unboxing? That was completely rude, and I will not apologize for that. So then this morning when I woke up, which again, today is Monday. This morning when I woke up, there was another comment on there, and she's like, thanks for finally making a video that's 10 minutes. So you guys know I had to comment. So I did comment. I don't remember exactly what I said at this point, but I did put it on my Instagram and on my group, Crafters Anonymous with Miss Crochet and Coffee, and all the info for that should be down in the description box. If you want to join, please feel free. Just answer the 2 very simple questions. So yeah, so I, you know, kind of told her, you know, you don't come to somebody's channel and, you know, tell them what to do. Because like I said in my intro video, where I do love you guys and I will take suggestions for videos that you would like to see. Essentially, overall, this is my channel. I busted my butt on this channel to get where I'm at. To have somebody come and tell me that my work isn't good enough because it's too much. It's too long. Again, you know how many diamond painters are on YouTube? There are plenty of diamond painters that don't have long videos. Try out Diamond Painting Lover. Her videos are usually like not even a minute long. So if you want videos that are super short, Diamond Painting Lover is the way to go, because her videos are never really long, and she has a bunch of short unboxings and everything else. Me, no, because I want to show you the ins and outs and tell you whether or not this is a good company, which I cannot do in less than 10 minutes. So, yeah. And I essentially told her, you know, if you don't like my channel, like I tell everyone in my disclaimers, don't let the door hit you where the good Lord splits you. Amen. So, and that's when she apologized and was like, no, I didn't mean anything by it and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, but the damage has been done. And I'm mad because I erased the first comment, because I was just so irritated when I seen it that I didn't want it up on my channel, because it makes me feel bad when people put bad stuff on my channel. So if you put up a bad comment, at this point, I'm not going to erase them anymore. I'm just going to leave them up there, because if I don't get to it, one of my subscribers will stand up for me and get to it. And if that's how you want to be and come over to somebody else's channel and spew a bunch of whatever, then you're going to get laid into. Bottom line, I don't care at this point. So I'm really mad that I deleted that first comment and I didn't take a picture of it. But I was like, the damage is already done. You don't come to somebody's channel and say what you did and then come back and be like, oh, finally, you made a video less than 10 minutes. Yeah, again, suck a fat one on that one. So that was kind of irritating, but it is what it is. Hopefully you guys have a good rest of your week. I will have a random assortment of videos coming your way this week. There will be a few unboxings. There are going to be a couple of unboxings, because if you guys remember, you guys love the Aurora 4-pack that I got from, I'm gonna butcher this, KOTWDQ, I think it was. Well, they felt bad because they sold out like before my video aired, and I essentially put that up the day I got it. So they felt bad, so they're sending me out another canvas that they, you know, I'm guessing it's new to their shop on Amazon. So they're sending me out another canvas. So that video will be coming your way later this week. Or maybe that one might actually be next week, because Cotart, K-O-T-A-R-T, Cotart, also sent me a canvas, but you guys will see that, I believe, on Thursday. And then my diamond painting freebie from AliExpress came in last week, and you guys will see that, I believe, the day after you see this video. So yeah, like there's a nice lineup of unboxings, and in between there's some DIYs. Like I just completed the video for the stretch canvas finish And I actually, like, I want to do it with a Diamond Art Club. And I practiced on one of my other canvases. I practiced on the mermaid and the lighthouse that I got from the Montague Rachel store. And they turned out, the first one didn't turn out so good. Second one was a lot better. It turned out perfect. So I was like, now I'm ready to try this on my Diamond Art Club. So that video will hopefully be coming to you guys either Thursday or Friday. I was going to put it up on Wednesday, but I have a butt ton of videos that need to go up. So I spent Friday recording unboxings, and I'm going to spread them out so you guys don't get sick of unboxings. I also created a diamond painter tag. It's only going to be 40. I was going to do 50 questions, but then I got to 40 and I'm like, they're discussion questions. So it's not like yes or no, up or down. They're discussion questions. So it might take a while. So I figured 40 questions was enough. I still have yet to type it up because I was supposed to type it up this weekend, but between the concussion and the trampoline park and everything else, I didn't get a chance to type it up. So I will type it up here soon. And before I let any other YouTuber have it, I promised my homegirl Rachel Ray that I would let her get it after I looked it over and have her review it for me to make sure that, you know, it's nothing too crazy. And it's kind of because I've heard other diamond painters doing a get to know me tag, and yet no, this one gets down to the nitty gritty. You will definitely learn your diamond painter, or at least the one you're watching at that moment. So as soon as I get it off to Rachel, I will open it up for, I'm going to say Rachel and Spasmatic Arts, actually, because her answers to those are going to be funny. Not that Rachel's aren't, but yeah. So I'm going to give it to Rachel first, though, because I did promise Rachel I would get it to her. And then once Rachel is done with it, I will pass that on to Spasmatic Arts. But yeah, so that's been my weekend. Hopefully your weekend was a little less eventful and more relaxing and, you know, diamond painty or crafty. As for me now, I am going to finish working on this section of my diamond painting because this is, again, my custom from Diamond Art Club, because I need to get this finished so that we can work on canvas number 1, folks, so they can tell us which one is which, because I know you guys are dying to hear. Caroline from, I can't remember her last name, Caroline Wellington or something. I probably butchered that, but Caroline's been asking me on her lives on Sunday, you know, am I finished with this yet? Because she is, and essentially it's not just her, everybody's been asking me, am I finished with it yet? Because they're curious to know which one's which, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna work on it. And I think it's the fact that everybody wants me to work on it has me working on it really slow. Abra Dexter loves it when I keep you guys in suspense. She doesn't love it, she hates it. But it's funny. And then it's funny because I was in a chat and I think Dearly Craft, someone said that they had something to send to me. Which, if you send me stuff, please try to leave a note or let me know. Like, I know, obviously, who's sending me what, because you have to contact me for my address. And if I don't know you, you're not getting my address. Oh, that's the other thing. I got my Redneck Beauty t-shirt in this weekend. And I took a picture. And that was awesome because I'm standing in the hallway of my building with if you know guns, it's a 40 cal rifle. 40 cal carbine rifle. And I'm standing in the hallway with a shirt that says my rights aren't up for debate. And I'm having Mr. Coffee take a picture of me with my gun with the shirt for Redneck Beauty for her page. And all I can think of is, please, for the love of all that is holy, don't let one of my neighbors come out of their house and see me with this gigantic rifle in the hallway. Luckily, they didn't. It took like 30 seconds to take the picture, and then like I run back in the house with it, because even though North Dakota is an open carry state, I don't want my neighbors thinking I'm that crazy neighbor that's just walking around the hallways with a rifle. Especially a 40 cal carbine at that, because it's not a small gun. So yeah, so that was fun. And then I took a couple of little bit less abrasive pictures with it. But the whole point of the gun, the whole point of the gun is because of the fact that they're trying to take away your right to bear arms. And I wanted to show my support because I do support bearing arms, and I do own weapons. With my parents being in the military, all three of them being in the military, and my brothers and sisters being in the military and everything else, I am a firm believer of the right to bear arms, so I do. Plus, I have had a break-in before when I lived in Pennsylvania, and when you're a single mom with little small children and someone breaks into your house, you don't throw cookies at them. So yeah, either way, that went off on a tangent. But yeah, so that was my weekend. Hopefully yours was a little bit more crafty than mine's. As for me, I am now going to go back to finishing this and watching some YouTube. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching this. If you did make it to the end of this video, put a potato into the comment section. Those potatoes are for Jennifer Roberts. So, yeah. Thank you guys again so much for watching. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, also put those down in the description, in the comment section below. As always, please remember to be kind, be courteous, be cool. Bye, guys.